All right, welcome back to the show. As I mentioned, we are now getting into a conversation with the head of innovation at the local enterprise authority to discuss what it really means to run a business in the manufacturing sector. And we're having that conversation with the head of this innovation, rather, as I mentioned, at Leah, Monyadiwa Masilo. Good evening, Masilo, and welcome to the business on Yerna FM.
Good evening, Rakola, and good evening to your listeners as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us this evening as we discuss the manufacturing sector broadly as to the opportunities it could potentially create for economic resuscitation in the country. Before we get to that conversation, maybe tell me a little bit about your role as the head of innovation at Leah. What do you really do and what are you concerned about every day?
Thank you very much, Mr. Rakola. My role at Leah is, as you have said, the head of sector innovation, where I'm responsible for the incubation program. We do support small enterprises or startups from by way of giving them interventions such as the incubation and business development support in terms of product development, all the way up to testing their product and getting the product ready to enter markets. And during that process, we also ensure that the products are of the right quality, and we give them or collaborate with the ecosystem to give them access to testing labs where they can, access the labs and test the products to ensure that it's suitable and meets the customers' requirements out there. Yes.
Absolutely. So you basically take these incubatees through the process of refining their product until it's ready for market in the incubation centers.
Precisely.
Absolutely. So let's talk about that business that has gone through the process, that is on the other side and is now participating in the manufacturing sector. What does a well-run manufacturing business actually look like from the inside? What are the systems and disciplines that must be in place for this business to be successful?
Thank you. Well, a well-run manufacturing business, starts with a very clear production process, or it will have semblance of very clear production processes and strong, which is anchored also on the strong value chains, and it must have also a reliable supply chain where they can source the raw materials. And as some of the best practices which it must incorporate in its operations, the product standardization, quality control, which basically ensures that you have consistency in your production and you have quality products going out into the market. And as part of those practices, also there must be safety systems which are in compliance with the industry standards, of course, and the control acts that we have in the country. And there also must be a clear market channels, so that the customers would be, or the customer would be able to take their products to the market. This talks to issues of distribution from B2B and B2C channels. Yes, and a well-run manufacturing business should also show that they are concerned about minimizing wastage in the production processes to ensure that they can reach optimal production of their products. Thank you.
Absolutely. And obviously, that's a mouthful. If you think about what all these subjects mean, what all these headings mean when you're talking about quality, when you're talking about raw materials, it can be daunting for somebody who's trying to get into this sector. What are the basics really that are enough to start or run a manufacturing business? Obviously, you can't be perfect. over time, after going through the process, you'll get to that point where now you are a fully developed business and you're able to, provide products and services at that high quality expected level. But what are the basics? What do you really need to start in the sector as you're working towards improving on all these other areas?
Yeah, I mean, it's not all our clients that have fully fledged manufacturing processes that where they can meet all the high quality standards. Most of our clients start doing their products some at their homes, in their garages, and as long as they demonstrate that they have the passion for doing that product, and it also makes sense, it can be a product that can be sold, and they generate revenue from that product. And we take that kind of a client and we put them in a sort of incubation. It could be virtual or in the premise, where we monitor the development process and ensure that the production methods are of the right standards and they can attain the right quality of product. And we grow that client to a level where they can now do scale up and produce more products. Yes.
If you're just joining us, I'm in conversation with the head of sector innovation at the Local Enterprise Authority, Monyadiwa Masilo, as we discuss the manufacturing sector and really what are those practical things that you need to do for you to be successful in the manufacturing sector.
This is Business Principles on the Business.
Welcome back to the business. We are still on principles with the head of sector innovation at the Local Enterprise Authority, Monyadiwa Masilo, wrapping up our conversation on what it really takes to run and grow a manufacturing business in Botswana. Just as we are wrapping up our conversation, I wanted you to speak to scaling. I think one of the biggest challenges that we see with our startups, our small businesses, is that they never really mature, grow enough to branch out, scale, open new branches, and enter new markets. When and how should a business in manufacturing scale when we get into this conversation?
All right, thank you very much. A manufacturing business should only scale when the business has a strong and reliable system in place. You can imagine if you're still starting up and you want to, chew more than you can swallow. It's like, same as it's akin to, scaling up when you're still small and you don't have robust systems. And before scaling, it is important to assess the risks, opportunities, review internal strengths of your business, and confirm which areas can be maintained consistently and which ones possibly would not serve you well as you scale up. And the business also, needs capital. And the owner should think thoroughly about and understand whether the growth will be funded through equity or should it be funded through debt, or the business is going to now maybe go public and start issuing shares. And those are the things that a business should be thinking about as they want to scale up.
Yeah. How robust are your systems? Do you have the financial backing to really undertake such a move? Are some of the fundamentals when you explore scaling? All right. Thank you so much for the conversation tonight. Just as we are wrapping up, how does Leah assist businesses that are in this space or individual startups that want to participate in this space? How are you available to support such businesses and individuals?
Well, Leah has been supporting many businesses and enterprises, and our wish is to get more listeners to understand that we are available across all our incubators in 15 branches. We have about 5 incubators, and Leah offers business incubation, and the factory shells also provide a conducive operational space and business support services for SMEs to grow and establish themselves as sustainable and commercially viable manufacturing enterprises. The service can be accessed by just becoming a Leah client at all of these branches that I've mentioned and the incubators.
Absolutely. They can definitely get more information from your incubations
and branches.
And branches.
Network, yeah.
Absolutely. And of course, they can also go online, www.leah.co.bw, to access more information, or visit your social media pages where I know you consistently share information there. Ramasilo, yes. Head of Sector Innovation, thank you so much for your time, and we'll look to hear how else